Hi, hello, and it's so good to be here again. So, I want to talk about vagina health, right? So if you're a guy here, you can just listen for education's sake. Sometimes I think it's best that men listen into these things because they always think that being a woman is not such a big deal. There's a lot to being a woman than what you see. Like the total package you see, it might look simple, but there's a lot of work to it. Right. So the vagina health is a very delicate and very delicate at the same time, it's very, very complex. Now you hear a lot of things. Don't use soap. And I think that is the part I want to talk about mostly for now. Like they tell you not to use soap. And frankly speaking, I can't imagine the very idea of not using soap. Now I understand the rationale behind not using soap because most of these soaps are chemicals. The soaps out there. Like I grew up, my grandmother was bathing me, so she didn't skip that part of my body without soap. Like she didn't skip that part. In fact, there's usually a little bit of concentration there when it comes to washing, right? And it's with soap and sponge. Okay, not scrubbing, but you know. So now I'm growing up hearing things like you shouldn't wash that area, and I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? You know. So I thought and thought about it, like, how does it even make sense? I understand that yes, the chemicals in soap, and then some of them explained why, and I'm like, well, whose fault is that? You guys allowed so many types of soaps to flood out there that contain chemicals. So obviously, it's going to be causing problems in the reproductive system, and the whole pH will be unbalanced. Now, my grandmother was the one beating me with organic soap. Organic soap. If it's made from things that grew from the earth, that comes from the earth. If it's made from things that come from the earth, not processed, not refined, just natural products combined to clean and moisturize the skin, moisturize the skin, and keep it and secure, the natural pH of the skin, then there shouldn't be a problem with it going to your vagina area. So here is the thing. If you're used to using soaps that, store-bought soap and the likes that filled with sodium laureth and all those, long-winded names that you can't even relate to. It doesn't contain things like black soap or shea butter or honey or camwood, things like that, very natural things, then yes, you should be worried about it going to your vagina area. So, but if you don't have access to organic soaps, right? Organic soaps don't have long names. They have names that when you check them, they are natural. They are made of natural product. So don't just look at the soap and say, oh, they said it's made of natural. But look at the ingredients. Again, I always say that. Look at the ingredients. Then one thing you can do is that you can get baking soda and apple cider vinegar. Baking soda and apple cider vinegar, like mix them. I'll say maybe more apple cider vinegar, like 2 parts apple cider or 3 parts, if you may, and 1 part baking soda. You mix it, and that will be like your feminine wash, so to speak. So that will be just like your feminine wash right there. So you can do that, but not to just be washing your vagina with water. Do you even know how clean the water is to start with? If you're going to do something like that, then you have to maybe use tea. Yeah? You probably have to use tea. Maybe green tea, lemongrass tea, that kind of thing, like boil lemongrass, something like that, and use, but just plain water. I'm sorry. I don't think that is a good idea. Yeah, you might say you don't smell, but here is the thing. You have to understand that we get used to the fumes that come out of our body. right? We get used to it, that we don't see it from the perspective of someone else passing us by and perceiving something. So take care of yourself properly. Be moderate. Listen to all these things. Do your findings and then, be moderate. Don't be extreme. So I've given you 2 tips. You could use baking soda plus apple cider vinegar, or you can make sure that your soap is natural and you use it in moderation, right? The only time you should use just water to rinse yourself is if after you have peed and you are at home and you are sure of the water you are using. I wouldn't advise that outside. Like outside you use tissue, indoors you use water to rinse yourself, and maybe cotton. You have handkerchief like size cotton fabrics that you use to wipe yourself, and as soon as you wipe yourself, you wash the napkin with soap, like with your, not detergent please, because that goes back. So you wash it with your natural soap and then dry it on your underwear hanger. So you have like maybe 5 of that, so that every time you pee, you rinse yourself with water. Is best. I can assure you it's best. It freshens you up, you feel better, right? At first it might seem maybe awkward because you're not used to that, but you wash yourself up with, rinse yourself with water. Yeah, you can just do that with plain water. If you feel like it, maybe you can add a little bit of soap or something like that, but apart from that, you can add maybe apple cider vinegar to the water, like you are, as if you are adding disinfectant to the water. Do you understand? Or you can add lemon to the water as if you are adding disinfectant to the water. So just to like purify the water, kind of, to make sure that the water is not a contaminated water. Whatever comes with the water does not affect you negatively. So these are some of the few things that you can do that is moderate. Yeah, yes, it might not seem moderate at first, but it's moderate, unlike the extreme wash with soap all the time and do not wash with soap at all. Like those are just total extremes that wouldn't that don't work well. So I mean, using lemon in your water, how would I put it now? Like, like add lemon to the water you drink, right? So you just add lemon to, like maybe a bucket of water that is, maybe, let's say, bucket of water that is 10 inches in terms of width, yeah, and 20 inches in terms of length. Like vertically is 20 inches, horizontally is about 10 inches, that size of the bucket. Try and make sure it has a cover as well, and then you fetch your water in it, and then add your lemon. Add lemon. You can add lemon oil if you have that, and if you have fresh lemon, fantastic. So it makes you, I mean, imagine going to pee and you come out smelling like citrus, right? That's a feminine wash for you. Water, lemon, that's all, right? Not the concentration of the one you drink. Or apple cider vinegar, right? And then you add maybe 1 cup to that water, and maybe a little bit of what is it called now, baking soda. So you just use it to rinse yourself, so it balances everything up. You end up smelling fresh, and if there is any existing trouble, that you have with your reproductive system, it cleans it up. And then you make sure that you drink your lemon and your apple cider vinegar like every once in a while, maybe if you don't have anything you use to maintain your vaginal health from within, then these are the things you also drink as well. Apple cider vinegar, dilute it with water, drink it. Lemon, dilute it with water, drink it, and you take that, interchangeably like that on a daily basis, to clean yourself from inside out. And I heard that pineapple also does that kind of job too. So maybe you can mix apple cider vinegar with pineapple or something, although I don't think that's necessary. I just take pineapple and that's just about it. Like if you take pineapple on a daily basis, right? It will do well for your, not just your health, but at the same time you're cleaning out your reproductive organ from inside out. Yeah, so I'll just put a pin on that one for now. When I think about something else, I would share with you guys. So please, if you find this helpful, and I hope you do, or you just like the content or anything, like and share, and then subscribe to the channel. I really need that because it encourages me to actually want to do something, because I know someone is listening and someone is learning, right? So it helps me, it motivates me to share more. Okay, unlike having to work on faith all the time. Like when I see one or two people have actually watched and they've liked, it encourages me to share because I know someone is listening. So take care, and remember, God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. All right? Shalom.